Well, hello, my beautiful Taurians. Welcome to your new bonus reading regarding the planetary alignments. Each month, the planets are doing something wild and wacky and different. They're shifting in ways that really affect you on a personal level, but also in different aspects of your life. So let's focus on each planet. As you can see, I have the celestial bodies and the planets all lined up there for you. And we'll take it step by step to see what areas are influencing you at this time. And starting with the sun, of course, the sun is all about the self. It's about what truly brings you joy. It's about awakening, seeing the true you, the self-awareness, being more creative and having more confidence in yourself. But it's also reigniting that spark, that spirit, that lust for life. So the first card we have to clarify that is the King of Pentacles. Really interesting because this is a Taurian card. So this means you're prioritizing your own needs, learning more about yourself, what it is you want in your life. And of course, the sun, this position is asking you what is your central focus or even your essence during this alignment. And the King of Pentacles is an energy of investment in self, but also it's all about stability. It's about building your empire in order to feel secure in your life. It's about making yourself available for the people you really care about. It's about seriously showing up for yourself in order to create a foundation where you feel happy and grounded, and it's a springboard to more, as it were. Now, with that King of Pentacles in your sun position at this moment in time, of course, you're prioritizing your own needs, so you may be more focused on health during this time because Pentacles are all about the body, so you may be wanting to be a bit more active or focus on your diet, exercise routines, or even your sleeping patterns so that you can show up for yourself and be your optimum best. This is also about you learning more about yourself, what makes you truly happy, and what you desire to advance in your life. And of course, the King of Pentacles is all about finances. So a lot of you may have money on your mind during this time, but because this is a central focus, I would say the King of Pentacles is an energy of investment and value, how you value yourself and the investments in your life. For example, friendships. You give all of yourself to your friendships, to your soul tribe, to your family, and you may be looking at reciprocity at this time and showing up for the people who are showing up for you. But because the sun is an energy of identity and the self, and the King of Pentacles is literally a Taurian card, I would say that life has got pretty serious for you recently. You may have a lot of responsibility on your shoulders. You're showing up for yourself, you're bringing your A game, and you're doing what you can with the resources that you have at this moment in time. A lot of you may be focused on the home space as well, building a sanctuary where there's privacy, where you only let a few core people into your inner world, into your thoughts, into your space, as it were. And a lot of you, of course, you may be thinking about where home is right now. And of course, home is a feeling, but you may be trying to find that groundedness as to where you belong because the sun is shining a spotlight on your home life, your relationships, and anybody that you associate yourself with. So I would say this King of Pentacles energy is you prioritizing your needs because you may have been giving a lot of yourself out to others because the sun is all about energy. So I feel like you're reserving a lot of your energy during this period for yourself. You may also be looking at certain food substances and how they affect your energy. The sun, of course, is a big ball of energy, and the King of Pentacles are about minerals, about vitamins. So it could be that you're looking at food substances in a different way, in a different light. It can be that rather than looking at a banana, you're looking at the amount of potassium it gives you, for example. You're breaking it down so that you can understand what minerals or vitamins your body really needs to be at optimum levels at this time. So I definitely see you prioritizing yourself, focused on your finances, financial endeavors, strategies, long-term goals that require your effort to show up every day. Also, the King of Pentacles means you're established in your area of expertise. So if you are in a career, this can be that you're shining your light, your reputation is growing, and it can be that you're reaching new levels. But you may feel like you've come as far as you can in a certain position and you're wanting to reach for more, because the sun is all about expansion. It's about, nurturing things that you have in motion, but also amplifying what you have or utilizing certain structures in order to increase your wealth or your opportunities or your capabilities in certain areas. So you may be more curious about material gain or financial structures, generational wealth, for example, certain interest rates or financial accounts that can give you more interest, for example. Some of you may also want to learn more about yourself. So you may put yourself on a course of learning, or you may be, downloading apps regarding mindfulness, because the sun, of course, is about awakenings. It's about reaching a higher consciousness. And you're doing what you can for yourself in order to illuminate, to be positive, to show up for yourself. So you may invest in courses or workshops or books, self-help books, in order to replenish the body or enrich your body, because of course the King of Pentacles is an enrichment card, so that you can run on optimum levels and feel that full sense of vitality. Now, the sun energy indicates you've been going through a major awakening over the last couple of years, and it's making you really define your life philosophy, your goals, and how you feel about your belief system, your morals. And you're someone who is true blue, but I feel like you are reaffirming those things at this time. Now, Pentacles, of course, are all about money, acquisitions, investments, the home. So some of you may be interested in real estate at this time, or keeping an eye on financial opportunities in real estate so that you can either move, relocate, or even, set some investment up for your future. So there could be passive income. But of course, the sun is all about the self. So I feel this is about you investing in yourself at this time and really realizing that you are a gift, that you have so much value. You bring so much of yourself to every situation that you find yourself in. It's only fair that you meet people and situations that are reciprocal, that invest in you as much as you invest in them. And you may not have found that in your life, but now you are readdressing the balance because of the power shifts that are going on. And I really feel like you are stepping fully into your power with that sun energy. A lot of you, super creative. You could actually earn money with your creations as well. And if you're not following that route, it may be something that you take a little bit more seriously in your future. So moving on to the moon. Now the moon is interesting because it's all about your heart space. It's about how you feel. It's about your sensitivities. It's about your intuitions. And clarifying that, we have the Three of Wands. And I feel a lot of you right now are all about expansion. Trying to uplift yourself in a world that is very challenging right now. Three of Wands, you're focused on your plans. You're engineering something for the future. And this particular card, the moon, of course, is all about moods. So it can be that, you're always trying to remember how grateful you are in a situation. You're trying to reach for something more. You're trying to elevate. And actually, you tend to elevate other people's moods as well. But that Three of Wands energy indicates that sometimes your fears, because the moon can elevate fears, sometimes your fears are about the future. The Three of Wands is about where you feel like you are right now and envisaging new opportunities or envisaging life in the future. It's always a waiting card where you're, on the precipice of change. So your emotions may change radically when you're thinking about your future. This can raise anxiety about what you want to achieve, and sometimes it feels monumental. But actually, I feel like there's a lot of success coming in for you. A lot of the readings that have been coming up for you recently are very successful, very strategic, and that Three of Wands indicates that, you're aligned and you're on your right path. So some of your fears may also revolve around, wondering if you're on the right path, if you are following your sense of purpose, but you will know if you're on the right path. I mean, the Three of Wands tends to mean that you are on the right path, but there is a sense of fulfillment and uplifting. So even though you're working really hard to show up for yourself, and sometimes there's challenges, it helps us grow, it helps us expand. But you know, when you have that sense of fulfillment and pride that you really did good, that you have shown up for yourself, that's a measure to kind of know that you are on the right path. Now, of course, the moon energy, this position is asking you what emotions or even subconscious patterns are surfacing for you right now. And the Three of Wands can indicate that you're in a deep period of reflection. You may have been feeling that things have been on hold, or that there's been a bit of a pause. You're always waiting for good luck or opportunities come in. But I feel the Three of Wands in particular is asking you at this moment in time, what is it that you've been reflecting on that you need to take action on? Because the Three of Wands is the next step. It is about, you know, getting projects off the ground, for example, your ideas off the ground. You know, the moon is an energy of how you feel, of course, and this can be a period where you deeply reflect on your hopes, your dreams, your wishes, trying to romance your life a little bit more. And you may feel like something that you have been thinking about for some time has either stalled or hasn't really gotten off the ground just yet, but it's about to elevate. You know, maybe some of your fears are around elevating as well, upgrading your life in some way. But also, if you feel like you have reached a certain level, it's about maintaining and sustaining. So some of you may be worried about certain things in your life that you feel you've worked really hard for, that they could be just taken away, or that you know, suddenly something happens to impede your progress, or you know, keeps you at a certain level. And I feel it's important that you know the Three of Wands is aligning you with more opportunities and more people to help you in your endeavors. So I feel there's a gateway of opportunity, a portal open to you where you are going to make great advancements, okay? Because the Three of Wands is such a super positive card. But also with the moon energy, Three of Wands can be that you're noticing patterns surfacing in friendships, because Three of Wands can be groups of people, and it can be an energy that you feel someone is distancing from you right now, and your emotions around that are feeling a little bit uncertain. You may even be lamenting, because the moon energy can be a mood swing where there's struggle. You're trying to come to terms with thoughts or feelings regarding a certain situation that you're feeling a little bit uncertain about. For some of you, it could also be that you have knowledge on a certain relationship or friendship dynamic where you're trying to work something out. You're trying to see long term how things kind of develop with this situation, because these two cards are cards of kind of developing energy, and that Three of Wands is kind of wait and see. So there may be a person or a situation where you feel like you're having to observe and get new knowledge on it before you make any decision. And this could make you feel a little bit uncertain or a little bit on autopilot right now, like you're just doing, and you're trying to dig a little bit deeper to see how you feel about something. But the moon is about the heart space, as I mentioned, and because the Three of Wands is about uncharted territory, some of you may be reflecting right now on wanting to take a little bit more risk in your life, or, you know, be a visionary and explore new territory, move into different situations, expand your social circle, or find your soul tribe if you're feeling a little bit isolated right now, or your friendships are evolving. Some of you are outgrowing friendships or situations, moving on from them, because the Three of Wands is to turn your back to something because you've been there, done that, had that experience, and perhaps it's not fulfilling anymore, and you want to experience new. So that moon energy can really make you reflect on wanting to do new things, meet new people, have new experiences, new adventures, try new restaurants across town, try new environments, try new pathways in your work environment. Whatever it is, I feel like you are reflecting right now on looking at life and how things have got really serious, or perhaps you feel that things are the same, because the King of Pentacles kind of maintains a position. It's like, I feel secure in this, I know this, so therefore I'm good. But there may be something in your subconscious mind right now where you're wanting a little bit more, or you're wanting to open up to advance in life in some way, and you're reaching for something else. and I feel like you're going to have it, whatever it is. It's like the moon is asking you to romance your life a little bit more, but the Three of Wands is saying with different things, with different experiences. So how can you open yourself up to new at this time? That's what this particular question is asking you with the moon and the Three of Wands. You know, growth begins at the edge of our comfort zone. So I feel like you're on that precipice of change and you're about to soar beyond the mundane and pursue exciting possibilities that lie ahead. You're literally leaving the ordinary to embrace the extraordinary in your life. So you're using that King of Pentacles as a springboard, a platform, a grounded position in order to reach for something else in your life, to expand. Now, next we have Mercury, of course, and this is all about your communication skills. It's about communicating yourself in a healthy way, from a perspective to have your needs met so you can be clear. It's also, you know, an energy that helps you be very precise about what you want, strategic in your plans, and really focus on not just expanding your reach and your ideas, but also your perceptions. You know, what your perceptions are of yourself, of others, your environment, and the card that's clarifying that right now is the Five of Cups. So this position is asking you, how can I better express myself or communicate with others? And the Five of Cups can indicate when you're feeling disappointed or when you're feeling let down, then really communicate how you feel. Or if you feel that someone's not getting you or is bringing their drama to your door, removing yourself for inner peace is very important. Now, the Five of Cups can indicate that some of you struggle to articulate yourself, especially when it comes to love relationships. You know, opening up in a relationship is hard. You feel exposed, of course. Five of Cups can indicate some of you have loved and lost in the past. You've been in relationships that have either broke your heart or let you down or disappointed you. And it can indicate that it's really hard to trust from that point on, that your emotions will be received in a healthy manner. But you need to learn that you do not need to make your emotions palatable to other people. How you feel is how you feel. And anyone who comes into your life is a welcome addition to your life. And they will respect how you feel in any given moment because that is how you feel. You know, the Five of Cups with Mercury, it can indicate that you regret not saying some of the things you wish you had said in certain moments in your life. And I feel moving forward, you're called to express yourself in this moment rather than let things fester. When you have a Five of Cups with a Mercury energy, it can indicate missed opportunities or chances to fully express yourself because the moment has passed. And then you may actually live in your head regarding that scenario and try and correct it and have those conversations in your head in order to cathartically let go of some emotions. So perhaps there's someone in your past you wish you could have said something to. You may remember this moment and go over old ground in your head, but I feel one day in your future, you may actually have an opportunity to have a face-to-face with that person. And if this person is not on the physical plane any longer, I feel like this person is aware of what you wanted to say to them. They can hear you, they can feel you. And I feel even though it was a very complex relationship, they understand and they don't want you to regret. But also, as this reading is about you, my beautiful Taurians, Mercury with the Five of Cups can indicate that your first reaction to anyone who, you know, crosses your boundary in any way is to withdraw. This can be that you give people the silent treatment, and you may be looking at that as a self-preservation mode that is triggered within you when you need to walk away and process something. That silent treatment is not a game within you. It is you showing up for you to remove your energy and protect your energy so that you can invite contemplation about what happened, but also what you do not want to happen again. Do not miss the opportunity because you have a Three of Wands there, which means sometimes you will wait until the moment has passed for what you truly want to say in that moment to that person. Sometimes when we withdraw or go into silent mode, I mean, I'm a Scorpio, so I understand the silent mode energy. It is self-preservation. It is not a power play. It is something when you feel wounded, you walk away in order to protect yourself from being even more sensitive in the situation or hurt further. But when you go silent or withdraw from a situation, The person that you are withdrawing from, they are aware that they have hurt you or crossed a boundary, but there's no healthy dialogue to express how you're truly feeling. So even if you leave it for like a week before you have a conversation with a person regarding the issue at hand, then energy levels have dissipated. What you truly want to say becomes diluted in some way. And that's just something that's coming out here because of the cards. This may not resonate with all of you, of course, but this is Mercury showing up for you saying, express yourself on how you feel. Be direct about what it is you want to say and do it in that moment. And then you can walk away and let the dust settle in the communication aspect so everybody's got something to think about. And then you can return to each other and really take accountability for actions and be honest and direct with each other once the intense emotions have dissipated. But, walking away from a person who has hurt you, sometimes, they're just left with, I know I hurt you, but you need to give the details why. That's something that's coming out very strongly. Now, you can be diplomatic in how you express yourself there because you want to foster healthy relationships and healthy dialogues, but at the same time, withdrawing into silence can become a pattern where you express disappointment without a clear conversation with a person to call them out. So I feel this energy is saying call people out more, okay? But diplomatically, because Mercury, although it is a communication card, there is diplomacy with that energy. Also, I feel Mercury is asking you to take some time alone to really process some very challenging emotions. The Five of Cups can indicate that some of you feel a little bit lonely or isolated, or that people don't understand, or that you feel like your soul tribe, your friendship circles are shifting and changing, and you're not really sure how to navigate this new period. You may be searching for new people in your life, but at the same time, I feel that Five of Cups, that figure is sitting alone, and people will join that figure in those chairs, okay? But over time, and it indicates that with that Five of Cups energy, you may be processing some very challenging emotions or even experiences of loss. If you've been going through a period of grief, or if you feel like you've lost a part of yourself, I feel this is a time that you've been called to sit and communicate with yourself about how you feel right now about your ever-shifting environment. For some of you, over the last couple of years, you may have felt that life has changed so monumentally that you feel like you're a completely different person. And that means you're calling new opportunities and new people into being to join you in your life. And you're still waiting for, the gear shift to be completed, as it were. Mercurial energy is a forward-moving energy. So a lot of you are being called to move away from, thinking of past disappointments, upsets, or things that could go wrong in your life. Because if you know the traditional Rider-Waite Tarot, the Five of Cups sees a figure lamenting 3 cups that have been spilt on the floor. And 2 cups are present and full behind the figure. The universe is aligning you with something greater in your life, but you may have sacrificed a part of your life or a pathway in your life, and you may be still grieving that, or you may feel a part of yourself, you've lost touch with that part, but you will gain more knowledge about yourself and feel more fulfilled in your future. The universe is aligning you with something that your heart truly desires. It really is a case of wait and see, because something is about to show up for you and be more fulfilling than anything you feel like you've had to walk away from or had to sacrifice in your life. I really feel that this Mercury energy is asking you to sit in silence more, or to slow down in some way in order to hear your heart, because of course Mercury delivers messages, and the Five of Cups can be a period where you feel you need to be removed in some way in order to prioritize your projects, your own needs, or to learn more about yourself. Also, I feel something has not been fulfilling for you, or something you once loved or something you once felt passionate about has changed and shifted. And it's okay to walk away from that. Remember, the Five of Cups is a withdrawal card. So it's okay to walk away. It doesn't mean that you won't revisit these things in the future. It means that you feel differently now because you're outgrowing a situation, or you're outgrowing an environment or a friendship or a relationship, and you need time alone to really assess who you are, what you want, and what is the right course of action or right path for you at this time. And Mercury is going to deliver a lot of messages and downloads for you there as well. Now, this part is not for everybody, of course, but if you have gone through a bereavement, firstly, I'm sending you a huge hug out there and so much love, because I cannot ignore the fact that the Five of Cups is a grief card. And Mercury energy indicates that you are going to receive so many messages from someone in spirit. Ask for a specific sign and you shall have it. And I feel in moments of quiet contemplation, you're really going to get huge signs and messages from a person who walks with you all the time. And they see you reflecting on life and the journey ahead, and they're right there with you. They're protecting you, directing you, and they're cheerleading you from the sidelines. They want you to know that they are present. You may not be able to see them. There may even be more than one person, but I'm really feeling one person's energy right now. It's like people in spirit, like your ancestors or your guides, are joined right by your side, and you can't see them, but they are there. So they want you to know, ask for specific signs and you shall have them, especially during this time. Lots of messages. Even if you have a thought like, what is my sense of purpose? Dear spirit guide, what is my sense of purpose? You may be walking down the sidewalk and see a billboard that has a massive message on the billboard for you, and you're like, oh my gosh, that's so relevant to my situation. You may suddenly hear a song that has lyrics that completely align with what you are wanting to achieve in your life. Listen to the signs around you. They're being sent to you by people and energies that you cannot see right now, but are present in your energetic sphere. Now, moving on to Venus, with a lot of love and respect, I want you to be aware that the messages you get from spirit or your guides from beyond the veil, there's an energy of this being something that's present already in your energy. I want you to be aware this is not something that you're going to experience. I don't see you experiencing a grief in your near future. This is only if you have been going through it before you've even come to this reading. So I want you to be clear on that. But coming to Venus energy, which is all about luxury, it's about love, it's about care, devotion, it's about your beauty routines, being in harmony with your life. We have the Queen of Swords. Now, this particular card in this spread is asking you, what do you need to nurture or understand more in relationships? And it's about being direct with communication. So it comes right back to Mercury. Going forward, I feel like you will have no regrets in what you want to say. But even if you have had a conversation with someone who was, very conflicted, or there was a lot of challenge in that dynamic, I feel there will be a healing in the future or coming to terms with a conversation. But the Queen of Swords is an energy that, this one is going to be a little bit hard to fathom, but, this can be that when you have a conversation with a person, and if it's an argument, for example, once the argument is healed, or in some way people have said their piece and reconciled all of the components in that argument, rehashing old ground by returning to old wounds or bringing something up from the past will keep you going round and round in circles on something with a person. So I want you to be aware of that. I feel once a person comes to terms with the challenging dialogue, or an olive branch has been offered as closure, if you feel you have been given closure on that, then turn your back to the past, because opening old wounds time and time again is going to destroy a relationship or a friendship long term. If you feel like you have not resolved any of those issues, then of course keep the dialogue open until you find a resolution to either heal or walk away for good, because either way it will continue to go round in circles and it will destroy both of you in the long term, especially in love relationships. Okay, now of course Venus is about your heart space as well, but your Venus is how you love. And you have a certain love language, which is sarcastic, it's exciting, it's direct, but it is also a little bit detached at first. Now, don't shoot the messenger. Maybe this is something you're looking at this moment in time, because the Queen of Swords is a detached energy. For some of you, it can mean that you've been in a relationship where there was a really bad separation, a divorce, or, you have loved and lost. Okay, because you have that Five of Cups there. And it can be that you're coming to terms during this period about love, how you feel about love. You may be looking at your love language and feeling that no one really understands you or doesn't really get you or see you. But I feel, give it time. And I know you've been really patient. If you're searching for love, I feel like you will be talking to someone very soon. Someone who's had experiences like you in your life that really gets you. Someone who aligns with you and shares your future goals as well. But, your Venus energy is asking you, what do you need to nurture? And you need to nurture that you can be a very peaceful person. I mean, you're someone who has a beautiful heart. You're so compassionate, so understanding. But just because you're kind and you're gentle and you're peaceful doesn't mean that you cannot be caustic, or that you cannot put someone in their place, or be direct, or have a temper even. And I feel that maybe you're thinking that, you care so much about people, you always give them the benefit of the doubt, but you may feel that people cross a boundary, or people see you as so self-sufficient that they don't need to show up for you because they look at you like you got it. I mean, you're very independent. You're someone who's had to rely on yourself your whole life. So therefore, there is a cycle here where you are super strong and independent and don't ever change those wonderful things about yourself. But you may be wondering, do people see you as like too independent because they always feel like you've got this? They don't reach out to help, for example, or in relationships, you may feel, especially in romantic ones, that you offer so much of yourself that you've promised yourself recently that you're going to sit back a little bit and allow a person to come to you because you're so fed up of giving and giving and giving. I mean, you invest right from the beginning. You're someone who's all in. And that's in every situation, whether it's friendship, whether it's work, whether it's romantic relationships. But I feel there's something about you right now where you're starting to detach, or you're starting to go off grid a little bit, or, see if people come to you, or see if situations come to you, because I feel this energy that you're exhausted of constantly showing up. Now, Queen of Swords also indicates that some of you may be looking at your strategy in love. So if you feel like, you want to find love, if you're single at this moment in time, it can be that you need to look outside your usual parameters when it comes to love. Some of you, if you haven't contemplated online dating, then you may even go down that route because this is an air card. So this can be that, online dating apps or even chat forums that are not even to do with dating can be something that you're interested in, a hobby or something. You could find a person in that arena. But if you're like, no, I hate online dating, or I don't ever want to do that, I feel this is about you doing something that you love, something that perhaps, helps quieten your mind. Can be something that requires your focus, or perhaps it's like a group that debates things, or a book club, or something that brings people together that are very intelligent, talking about interesting subjects. And I feel you could find a person within those parameters as well. But the Venus energy is about nurturing a way to communicate yourself from a healthy place, okay? So that you have your needs met and that you're not left misunderstood or regretting the fact that you didn't express yourself or say something or even call someone out on something. For some of you, you may feel that you've been left out in some area of your life, that you've been singled out in some way. And you may need to have a dialogue about that with a person. And it may be a person that you really love or really care for or respect, and you're going to have that conversation. Be direct, be diplomatic, but express yourself and speak your truth even if your voice shakes. Also, I feel at this time you're learning to cut off or sever any situations that you feel do not bring you joy, that do not invest in your life or help you feel more fulfilled. I feel there's this energy of wanting to take flight, be more free. So even in relationships, if you're in a relationship right now, whether it's with a partner or whether it's a family dynamic or friendship dynamic, some of you may want to be a little bit more independent, and you may want to express yourself and say, look, I want to go off and do my own thing. I still love you. I still want to be with you, but I just need time for me. I just need to go off and do my own projects. Doesn't mean that I don't want to be with you or don't want to spend time with you. I'm just super independent and I just love my alone time. I feel some of you could be craving that right now. Just have a little bit of alone time because life looks like it's pretty serious there with that King of Pentacles. And you may be feeling that it's important for you and it's healthy because that is a healthy mind space with that Queen of Swords in order to, go off, even if it's to go shopping or to take a walk in nature or sit on a chair in the middle of nowhere in peace and quiet. Chance would be a fine thing because we've built a very busy lifestyle, but some of you could be craving those things at this time. And I feel like your heart space is perhaps asking you to, carve out a little bit more silent time or quiet time for you. Not scrolling on your phone or, perhaps doing all the little projects that you've been meaning to get around to just because you've got a little bit of time. You're like, oh, I could rest or I could, clean out that closet. So I feel like you've been very active recently, and over the next coming weeks, you're being asked to embrace a little bit more stillness is what I'm being given there. Now, moving on to Mars. Mars is a very passionate energy. It's, that force within you to be the leader in your life, to take courage. There could also be like a little bit of an inner battle there as well. But your Mars energy is all about action. So right now we got the Seven of Wands. Seven of Wands, especially coming after a Queen of Swords, this is about your boundaries. This is about protecting your boundaries. You may be looking at why you've needed to protect your boundaries, if there's someone who's crossing that or someone who takes advantage of your kindness or even kind of asks you to do all the responsibilities or duties in your life, and you don't mind showing up as long as there's reciprocity or as long as you have some time for yourself. But, this card in this position is asking you, where should you direct your energy and drive at this time? Seven of Wands, especially since Seven of Wands is all about pressure. This period, someone could trigger your frustrations or, there's an energy there of protecting your boundaries so that you don't anger, because Mars can be a very angry energy. Seven of Wands is pressure and stress. So I would say protecting yourself against those things in general is very important. That's why a little bit of quiet time, me time. With that Queen of Swords, you may also be drawn to mental well-being practices like meditation, maybe yoga, Pilates, or for some of you, I'm seeing that you may be doing some hypnotherapy in order to cut something out or to kind of reprogram your thoughts on something. Also with that Seven of Wands, this could be a period where you're protecting yourself from intrusive thoughts that threaten to tear you down. And I feel you should direct your energy and drive towards protecting your energy against negative people, negative situations, but most importantly, that inner critic that we all have from time to time that raises its head when we get stressed. Okay, because Seven of Wands can be a card of stress. But also Mars with that Seven of Wands means that you are at peak performance right now. You are at your personal best. You can never be Taurus in the past because you've been there or done that. You can't be Taurus in the future because that's yet to come. You are Taurus right now, and you are a gift to every situation you find yourself in. You are a little piece of magic walking through this thing called life, trying to work with the resources that you've got, show up for yourself every day, and it is a lot. And of course, you're exhausted, but you're trying to expand your horizon or enter into new environments. And even looking at that Five of Cups, that person is showing up even though no one else is there. Not only are you someone who's a friend to people when no one else is there, but also you could be doing something that is bold, maverick, and new that your family have never done before, that your friends have never done before. Maybe those seats are empty because you're going off and doing something completely different than anybody you currently know. And this can be that you're very adventurous, that you are being independent. Sevens are all about independence. They're about marching to the beat of your own drum. They're about showing up and taking accountability for your life, living life on your own terms. So I would say with that Mars energy, taking action on something that perhaps you've been dreaming into being or working hard towards accomplishing or planning, because that Three of Wands is all about planning. It feels like your cards are saying, look, yes, you need to do something, go off and do your own thing, but now is a time for action. Don't stress about it. Don't worry about it. Mars is saying take action, direct your energy towards something that perhaps will protect you for your future, whether it is a project or whether it is move to a new neighborhood. You know, the Seven of Wands is an energy of saying, I got this. But also, you know, if you know the traditional Rider-Waite Tarot, the Seven of Wands has a figure on top of a peak, and there are 6 wands trying to reach the figure on top of that peak, because you are at peak performance, but also it indicates that you are maintaining and sustaining your position. You may feel that there is something competitive in your life, or, I mean, for some of you, this could be the working environment. You feel that economically things are challenging right now, and that you're thinking about your future, and you may have witnessed some losses, some redundancies, and, you know, you may be gaining new knowledge right now in order to be at your peak or be the best above the competition. And I feel like you are. So I feel like you're in a stable position right now. So I see that there's nothing to worry about, but the universe will always open new doors to new possibilities. And there's something here with that Five of Cups that you're not even aware of right now. With that Three of Wands, something is coming in here. You've been waiting for this, or perhaps you've been waiting for something, but the universe is sending you something that's more fulfilling, something that perhaps, you know, you had an idea on, but I feel like you will grab it with both hands there. Now also we have Jupiter. Jupiter is all about your luck, okay? And this is about growth, it's about abundance, it's about success, but also, most importantly, it's about fulfillment. It's about where you feel truly happy. And we have the Death card. New beginnings is where it's at for you. You're in a transition period, and I feel something is over in your life, and you're literally being called to walk away from it or let go of it. Okay, this could be your comfort zone, literally, because that Five of Cups is like release. Release something, let it go. Something is over or done in your life. This could be a way of living, could be a lifestyle choice you're making right now, could be a neighborhood, could be a friendship, relationship, could be a job, whatever it is for you, something is over for you, but it is the door to more. It means there's new opportunity. So your luck is going to be in the changes that you make right now, and there's a lot of optimism in that. But the Jupiter energy, it is asking a question of what opportunities for growth or abundance are aligning for you. And that means that as one door closes, another opens, or as you let go of something, something even more wonderful comes in. The universe rewards you for not being stagnant. You know, sometimes the King of Pentacles, I love this card, but, you know, it can be that life has got pretty dull or boring or serious or mundane, as it were, and change is going to shake up your energy. It's going to keep you fluid. It's going to keep you moving in the right directions. So I would say anything you're changing right now in your life is going to be wonderfully successful for you and is going to bring in extra growth, but also extra benevolence there as well. Also, if you're trying to break free from a cycle, if you're trying to break out of a habit, I definitely see that some of your habit energy can be withdrawing and not really expressing yourself on something until the moment is too late. Or it can be that, you know, when you feel left out or isolated or lonely on something, or even singled out, even if you're in a working environment and you feel someone is micromanaging you, diplomatically calling it out, going through the necessary process in order to highlight where it is unacceptable, you know, standing up for something. You could be challenging something with that Mars energy and putting a stop to it. And I feel like you're well within your power and reach to make that happen for you and really, you know, take back your power in a situation. Now, Saturn energy, of course, is all about discipline. It's about rules and regulations. It's about how you conduct yourself as well. And we have the Three of Swords, okay? Miscommunications. I mean, you have a lot about communication right now. You have so many swords. So this can be that there's an energy of either a very painful or challenging experience that you're trying to process or trying to kind of like walk away from or heal at this time. But Three of Swords can also be, words wound. And maybe someone has said something to you that you're carrying with you and you're going to be a success despite whatever they said to you. It's like the fuel that you need to rise up from the ashes and, make your mark and impact on this world. But also the Three of Swords, this is an energy of structure. Okay, so Three of Swords can indicate there's something that perhaps your heart really wants. And when you go after it, either there's delays or things have fallen apart in your past or you've had some setbacks there. But Saturn indicates that, you are going to be really structured and get back on track. So if that's you, I feel like there is a breakthrough here for you. But, Saturn energy in this particular position, it's asking you what lessons or responsibilities are asking for your attention. If someone wounds you or hurts you, speak your truth and then walk away and then let it be until the person either reaches out with, an olive branch or doesn't, because the dove is there. I feel like you're good, you're independent all by yourself. You don't need someone to kind of like offer you an olive branch in any area of arguments. But I feel also it's important because it makes sure that they do not get let off the hook, okay? With that Saturn energy, Three of Swords, I feel like you've been through a lot of challenge. This doesn't have to be with people. It can be that, you've experienced a lot in your life and you're still showing up. You're a warrior. The Saturn energy indicates you don't tend to wallow in that. You pick yourself up and you move on. But there may be some emotions that perhaps have been left unprocessed and unhealed. And during this period, especially with the eclipses, they are going to be illuminated for you. So you may be looking at past wounds or past hurts or regrets during this period, because it is so clear that this is something that's in your energetic sphere, something that's over, or for some of you, because the Death card, the Five of Cups, and the Three of Swords, this can be that you're grieving. And I've mentioned it already, you're going to get lots of messages from someone in spirit. And the wound, the wound never really goes. That's the truth of it. We just learn with time how to manage it better, okay? So I know there's a famous saying like time is a healer, but actually time just gives us more opportunity to manage it, because pain is pain. A wound is wound. Grief is something that is all consuming at first, and then we just learn how to deal with it better as we start to mature. And, we never really kind of detach from it. It's in our core. It's, part of us, because the person that we're lamenting or we're grieving was part of us and still is part of us. And you're going to see lots of communication in and around that. So Saturn energy, especially from now until, the end of January, you're going to get a lot of messages from someone in spirit to let you know that, yes, things have been challenging, but I'm there for you and I'm helping you with a win. So there are opportunities coming in towards you. But the Saturn energy is also how you discipline yourself and your responsibilities. And you tend to be really hard on yourself. Three of Swords, it's almost like no pain, no gain. So you show up for yourself even when you're tired. You're the sort of person, when you're mentally broken down, you feel like you gotta just keep on pushing forward. And that is admirable. But there's going to be a point where your body says, I can't do this anymore. So you need to just watch that, okay? Push yourself to your limits. I always say there's no limitations, but your body needs your attention at this time, because the King of Pentacles with that Seven of Wands, I would say you're under a lot of pressure. Just take some better quality time for you in order to replenish your mindset and your energy levels, okay? Taking a walk in nature, very important, but I feel a lot of you are trying to silence the inner critic. I feel like you should be super proud of yourself. You've gone through a lot of changes over the last couple of years and you're dealing with a lot, but I feel like you're showing up and you are doing, a remarkable job with what you are experiencing at this time. And I feel like you're protected and directed accordingly, especially during times of change, okay? Now, next we have Uranus, which is all about shocks and surprises there, okay? Now, with Saturn, which of course is retrograde at this moment in time, and that is in Pisces, so you are going to feel a bit more sensitive than usual. I just thought I'd mention, oh, I just knocked the camera, I do apologize there. I thought it was important to mention that, you are going to be more sensitive. You are going to be letting go of some very challenging emotions, very cathartic time. You may feel one moment that you're excited about the future, next moment you're like feeling despair, but I want you to be aware that really great things are coming. You're not aware of them just yet, but they are on the horizon for you, and it's not too far away, because the Three of Wands says you can see it. You can see it coming together, but it's just frustrating that it's not right here, right now, okay? But Uranus energy, as I mentioned, is unexpected. We've got Two of Swords. As I said, you can't see it. You cannot see the unexpected that's coming in. The Two of Swords indicates you feel like you're in a bit of a stalemate position. Uranus is all about change and innovation. So this position is asking you, what unexpected shifts or breakthroughs can you embrace? And I feel this is about you silencing the noise, protecting your inner peace, but also in these times you connect to your higher self. And the Two of Swords is always about exploring new territory, because if you know the traditional Rider-Waite Tarot, there's a figure that has two swords up. They're kind of like expecting some sort of challenge. They're protecting themselves, and they're blindfolded because they cannot see. They cannot see the future. They cannot see what is about to happen that actually is super positive. Behind them, the history of this card, there is an island that they're about to explore, which is new and different, and there's some stepping stones. So there's a process that this figure will need to take in order to get to where they want to go. So it can be that, you're uncertain about the process, or that, you fear change or the unexpected, or you're just fearful of what you cannot see for the future right now. And this can be in terms of global events as well. It doesn't have to be connected to your projects. It can be that, you're feeling a shift, or you're feeling some changes coming in, and you're just worried about these changes, and you're unsure about what they mean for you or your family. But I feel with this energy, it's like you kind of tapping into your higher self, your intuition, because that figure is relying on their other senses, okay? What this person cannot see right now, they can access the visions in their mind. That's the Three of Wands, you being a visionary. So it's like, go inwards for answers. Connect to your higher wisdom. Develop your spiritual gifts. Listen to your hunches at this time, because the Uranus energy is about how unique you are. And you have like an inner radar, an inner compass that is bang on point. You need to trust it more. And just because some things, set you back in the past, or you felt like you could not preempt certain things and you were taken by surprise, doesn't mean that your gut instinct is off kilter or is out of alignment or out of sync. It just means that certain things were meant to happen in your past to teach you a lesson or to help you evolve and grow. And, the Two of Swords energy, especially as it's coming after the Three of Swords, it can mean that right now you're shattered. You're putting everything you've got into your life right now in order to build your future, and you're exhausted. So this is about protecting your inner peace. It's about withdrawing into self, seeking answers within yourself, and also, those answers will come in stillness. Two of Swords is always a very still person who is saying, look, I needed to go off grid in order to contemplate new experiences and come out of my comfort zone. I really need to think about this, strategize. I feel like you're making a big shift in your life. You've got a plan that you have to be strategic on. You're structured and you're going to be disciplined. And yes, of course, you may worry that things are not going to work out in your favor, but your luck is coming from the fact that you are changing, that you are embracing yourself to more, to something new. And of course, the Two of Swords always asks you to be grounded and harness inner peace during turbulent times. So if you have been going through some very turbulent times there, firstly, I'm sending you a huge hug out there, but I also see that you're making great decisions, and the journey inwards at this time will bring you the answers that you need. I feel a lot of you are being asked to listen to your inner voice at this time and silence the inner critic. Now, your Neptune is literally going to ask you how you can connect to your intuition and your higher vision. And I feel a lot of you, the answer has already materialized in your reading, as it were, but still let's clarify it to see what's going on there. We have the Ace of Cups, lead with love, but also most importantly, the Ace of Cups is emotional well-being for self. You cannot help other people without a full cup for yourself. okay? But also this is about you loving your life, feeling fulfilled. And as you can see, there's a lotus flower in there. So this is about inner peace and, making sure that in various areas of your life that you feel fulfilled, that we can have many purposes, but as long as we feel a love for what we do and, lead with love, then that is the answer basically in life. You're learning as you go, but I feel this is about opening up as well and blossoming because new opportunities are coming in. It really feels like your dreams and goals, it's like they've been put on hold because you had to experience new things or experience something that was challenging perhaps, but now I feel you're blossoming. And also you're connected to Neptune with an Ace of Cups, which is basically your hopes, dreams, and wishes. Neptune is all about your imagination as well. So I would say that Ace of Cups there is like you imagining things that you would love to start materializing in your life and the universe showing up for it to be offered to you, because the Ace of Cups is a divine intervention. It's an offering from the universe. For some of you, this could be love. Some of you, if you've loved and lost and you're searching for love, this could be that, you feel really guarded after the ending of a relationship. You've been heartbroken. You've been processing some very challenging emotions. You literally cannot see that love is about to come into your life. And yet here it will be. It will come on in. And some of you may even travel with this person quite quickly, but I feel this relationship will advance. It's secure. It's long-term. And I also feel this is also kind of pointing in a direction about communicating yourself from a healthy place with the people around you. And those who are meant to be in your life, they will join you in those seats. Anyone, when you erect healthier boundaries, especially with these two cards here, as soon as you start saying, I'm showing up for myself, I'm different, I'm changed, these are my boundaries, people are going to look at you in a different way. Believe me, they're going to be like, oh, I expected you to be this way, or I expected to continue to get away with my bad behavior, or I expected I would be able to take advantage of the situation, but now you've erected healthier boundaries. I can't do that. So now I'm going to make it that you've changed, that it's your problem, when actually it's not. It's that you have decided to take back your power and say, I'm drawing a line in the sand. Enough is enough. I'm not putting up with this any longer. So you're going to notice that when you erect healthier boundaries, those places, they're going to be filled by a certain amount of people. And some of the people that you expected to be sitting on those seats with you, they may be absent. And that may, make you feel sorrowful. You may lament that because you're outgrowing situations. But more than anything, I feel like you're outgrowing, enabling certain behaviors in your life that you're fed up of accepting anymore, okay? Because you're valuing yourself and you're leading with love. And, I feel that Ace of Cups energy on a personal level is also, removing yourself from fear, sadness, or anything that's been hurting you so you can embrace more joy, more love, more harmony in your life as well. Neptune in energy is basically all about your imagination. So you may be looking at things that don't bring you joy anymore, something that perhaps you once loved, you're evolving away from. And now you're using your imagination to do something that you love more, something that perhaps is in a different direction or is different and requires change. But whatever it is, I feel like it is divine intervention and you're meant to take this path and it is going to really flourish and thrive for you. Now, finally, we have Pluto, which is all about transformation. And I feel with the cards that you've got here, you've been going through a lot of change over the last couple of years to the point where you are exhausted and maybe even completely shattered with all of the flexibility that you've had to have. To clarify this card, we have the Queen of Cups, okay? Now, this can indicate, of course, there are 3 people, so it could be a group of people here, but I feel this is about you loving yourself fully. This is about emotional self-care. This is about you being a healer as well. So being a healer, and a light worker, it means you need to protect your energy because, you pick up a lot of energy that's not yours. You may even absorb people's energy when they're going through a challenge. Even if you're on the subway, you may walk off that subway and think, oh my gosh, I'm so exhausted. I felt great a moment ago. Why do I feel so awful right now? It's because you're absorbing a lot of energy. So black tourmaline, black obsidian, very important to protect your energy. But the Queen of Cups is an energy of helping others when your cup is full. And I'm not surprised to see it come after the Ace of Cups there, okay? Now, of course, the Pluto position is asking you what area of your life is undergoing a deep transformation. how much you give of yourself, especially when you feel like you are walking on empty. So I feel that is something that's definitely changing in your life. Also, the Queen of Cups energy is that you're transforming the way that you love. So if you have been guarded before in your past, I feel like you're blossoming and opening because you are cathartically letting go of some very challenging emotions. You're closing a door to the past. I feel with that Death card energy, there is a chapter in your life that is done, and now you're embracing something new, which means you're more open to receive. And this is a card of receiving, not just in terms of love or relationships. It is opportunity to come home to self and know that, you are transforming your life so that you can feel more fulfilled in projects and reigniting that spark for life in general. I feel like you've been stripping away things. I actually feel the collective have been stripping away over the last couple of years, really to dig a little bit deeper on what is authentic and true. And I feel like you're deepening your friendships when you have that Pluto energy. You're deepening your relationships. This is a card of depth. You're deepening your affiliation with certain projects or certain lifestyle paths. You're looking at what really fulfills you now rather than what is structured and kind of highlighted to us as a society of what we should be reaching for. There's often a structure of like getting a serious job, being in that job until retirement, and, building a family, building a lifestyle. And that structure is ending. We're seeing through that. It doesn't work in certain ways. It works for some time, but it can feel a little bit stifling or that you're stuck in a rut. I feel like you are being more fluid, you're being more open to opportunities that bring you joy, and also to a path where the lifestyle choices you're making is not just to fulfill your destiny with that Queen of Cups, but also to purify your energy, to really kind of be in the flow of fulfillment. I feel a lot of you also are looking at your water levels as well, more hydrated energy there. I just feel like you are focusing more on self-care. And self-care isn't just taking a bath and like reading a book and just chilling out for a little bit. Self-care is across the board. It says, I know I am of value. It says, I lead with love in my heart and I bring my whole self to every situation. I am present and I respect people and deserve the same in return. And if you feel like you're not getting that in any area of your life, I feel like you're done and walking away from it. And you're literally shifting your perspective of what is important right now and of course what is not. So that is what I have for you, my beautiful Taurians. I hope something resonates there in some shape or form. Thank you so much and love and light.